So the matrix is this illusion, and people are living these ordinary lives and disconnected from what's real. And that's kind of what I feel like traditional medicine is. It's like you're told your labs are normal, but you still have symptoms of you're tired all the time, and basically it's all in your head. Welcome to Look Good, Feel Good with Matt and Amy McKinley, the podcast where we bring you expert advice and honest, real talk on health, wellness, and feeling your absolute best. From hormone optimization to aesthetics and everything in between, we're here to help you live your best life. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Look Good and Feel Good with Matt and Amy. I'm Amy.
Hello, and I'm Matt.
Today we're going to be talking about it's going to be a reference to a movie called The Matrix. And if you remember The Matrix, there was the blue pill and red pill moment in the movie where Neo has the chance to make that decision of whether he wanted to know the truth or if he wanted to stay ignorant to that truth and just live in bliss. And so he's given that moment to where he's the option to take the pill.
But it really wasn't bliss he was living in. He was living in lies, or just what the public wants you to see, or what the government wants you to see, or what is presented to you, and not the truth.
So that's kind of what me and Matt have kind of thought, as we've learned about hormones, and it's kind of opened our eyes. And I almost feel like we've taken the red pill and we've learned the truth, and our eyes have been opened to the truth. And now we can't unsee what we've seen. And so now it's our mission. I feel like it's our mission to actually spread that truth and to let everyone know the truth about hormones, about optimization, about normal labs are not optimal. Like, we should not be living in that world, but it's not what we were taught in school. So, and we've said this over and over again, but we have taken the red pill, and now it is our duty to spread the truth about it.
It is. It's our duty, and we are passionate about this because we can all live life differently. On a quick note, I spoke to a recently graduated PA student in the past 2 years, and I said, how much education did you guys receive in your program about hormones? I said maybe 2 hours, and he laughed and he goes, maybe an hour. So it's something that's just fully overlooked, and that's not good. So back to the red pill. Once your eyes are opened, at that point you've understood, or you now see the rabbit hole that you've been in, and how the system keeps you stuck. The system doesn't want you to know the truth. So if you're feeling like things are quote unquote normal or fine, that's not real life. That's fake. So take the red pill and have a wake-up call.
Yeah, so the matrix is this illusion, and people are living these ordinary lives and disconnected from what's real. And that's kind of what I feel like traditional medicine is. It's like you're told your labs are normal, but you still have symptoms of you're tired all the time, and basically it's all in your head. And you're told that because you just need to eat less. You're gaining weight for no reason. You just need to eat less. You need to sleep more. I just think now we know the truth. It's normal is not optimal, and now it's getting that out to our patients, getting it out to the world, letting them know that normal is not optimal.
It is not optimal. And a lot of times when we talk with people, that red pill moment kicks in when they say, I have done everything right. I've done what I've been asked to do. I've tried diet. I've tried exercise. Why do I still feel horrible? Why do I feel anxious? Why do I feel like I just haven't made any progress with weight loss, with energy, with libido, just feeling good and living your best life? And that's when the red pill moment kicks in, when we say, okay, well, what you've seen, which is considered normal, is not normal. It's not optimal, and that is not how you should live.
Yeah.
We want you to feel your best, and that's one of the reasons we test hormone levels. And even if they come back normal, that is probably not optimal. There's such a big difference, and we've really been talking about this a lot lot lately. The lies that have been told, and I don't blame practitioners because they have never learned. Like we started this podcast, they have not learned what optimal is. They have been brainwashed into saying, oh, if it's normal on this piece of paper, then that's how you treat people.
Yeah, but and you still don't feel normal. You don't feel right. You don't feel good. And I still remember when Matt and I took our, when we started going through these classes and learning the truth about hormones, and it was very humbling. I remember sitting next to a doctor that had been a family practice doctor for over 25 years, and he, had come because his wife had started on some hormones from another clinic in California. Anyway, she thought it was very important for him to learn, so she registered for this class. And
I thought that was great. She registered him,
yeah,
because she knew the importance of it, and he was kind of stuck in, I haven't been trained like this. This isn't normal. Yeah.
I'm practicing family medicine for 25 years, and now, and I remember at the end of that first weekend course, we both looked at each other and were like, do you feel kind of like you were duped a little bit, like in school? Like, I felt like my eyes were almost open to like, wow, like we've been kind of brainwashed into thinking that this was how it was supposed to be. And now both of our eyes were opened, and now we can't unsee what we've seen. And now it's kind of like our mission to help people, it's not all in your head. There's a reason why you're feeling crappy, and being able to give them answers and being able to optimize those and not go off labs. I mean, yeah, we use labs, but we use them as a guideline, but we usually use them to kind of get out of range is what we try to do, is get most of those. And when I say that, when it comes to hormones, you use them as a guideline, but we go off how you feel. And
yeah, hopefully this will be a decent analogy. This barely popped into my mind. This is not scripted at all, but think back to, 20, 30 years ago when the speed limit was 55. That was considered the normal speed limit that no one followed, right?
Yeah.
Everyone went way faster than that because, that wasn't right. But for years, that was stuck into our brain. 55 is the normal speed limit. Now in Idaho, it's 80 and we drive 85. So it's like when your brain is set to a certain norm, maybe it isn't right. You need to use your brain and think about these things. But
yeah. I think doctors love the word normal. It's based on the average American. Yeah. And so it's one of those things where when you see men's hormones and test panels, you realize normal isn't optimal. Is that correct?
Yeah, for sure.
So when you're wondering, if you what your symptoms are, like if you're wondering about fatigue, low libido, mood swings, anxiety, poor sleep, like you're gaining weight for no reason, or you've had a hard time losing weight, these are really red flags that things are going on. So many people settle for the blue pill version. They want to live in blissful ignorance. And that's kind of what the healthcare system has taught us. And to stay comfortable, but never get better. So I just think that's an interesting analogy. We like to stay comfortable.
Yeah, but really, is it even comfortable? No, most people don't feel comfortable. They don't feel good. They feel like they could live a much better life and have better quality of life, or QTR, quality time remaining. So that's one of the reasons test, but we also don't base our decisions off of the test. A lot of times, yes, they give us a ton of information and also give us a really good baseline to work from. But I can remember a gentleman that came in suffering from all the symptoms of low testosterone. So we ran his male hormone optimization or lab panel that showed us everything we needed to see. And lo and behold, he was normal in every category. But guess what? He was depressed, very depressed. His libido was low. He had no energy. He runs his own company. He's like, man, I can barely get up and go to work. And by the time I get home, I am just done. He has 6 kids, and he's like, I don't even want to play with my kids when I get home. So he just came back recently. He'd been on the program for 6 months, and he said, I have not felt depressed since I started this. My energy levels are great. My libido is way better. And his wife also got on the program, by the way, for the same reasons. And he said, our intimacy is the best it's ever been. It's helped our relationship. It's helped our business. He said his business is thriving. He goes home from work now, hangs out with his kids, goes outside and throws a football around, and he is just happier. And he said, had I kept living the way I was, he said there were times he had actually thought about taking his own life because he saw really no solution. And that is a sad situation that is so easily correctable.
Yeah. So, we call it the red pill transformation. When you actually take the red pill, your eyes are open to the truth. You finally get the right testing. We start optimizing to where you feel well. You wake up and it's an amazing transformation. It's almost like you've gone from black and white color to color, like kind of like in the Wizard of Oz, like it's all black and white in the beginning and then it's all colorful when she goes to the Wizard
color.
of Oz. So I just feel like it's like an awakening, like you understand, wow, I do feel good at this level, and it's out of range, but that's where I feel good. Like Matt was talking about with, like not optimal. Normal is not optimal. And, we're optimizing thyroid, we're optimizing testosterone levels, we're optimizing, all of these hormones that are supposed to be within a range, but most people feel better out of range. So anyway, and not just for women, it's for men too. Like we talk about
big
men and
time
women.
for men. I mean, and I think it's been around longer for men, and you hear about TRT or testosterone replacement therapy. So the levels on a lab sheet keep going down. Okay. I was talking to my son the other day and he goes, are they trying to wimpify America? And I think they are. The reason the levels are going down, in my opinion, is because everyone is testing at lower levels now, more so than 20, 30 years ago.
True.
But that isn't normal. So when you get your testosterone replacement panels done, we look at those and we don't base your treatment on exactly what the numbers are. We base them on how you feel, and we do it in a safe way so you can have the best quality of life.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of funny when you get those lab results back, it can be kind of emotional. People it's like they finally have hope, and it's kind of that matrix moment to where, you've been living on autopilot for so long, and now you finally feel like you have control, like you feel like you have hope, I think is more what it is, and here's the truth. The blue pill, a lot of people just want to take it because it's comfortable. You stay in your comfort zone. So many people want to be in their comfort zone, and that's not where you grow. You're blaming stress, you're blaming, this is just normal. This is just normal aging. This is how it is as you get older. And that is, that's settling. And that's, not what we're about. So the red pill is asking questions. It's getting your hormone tested. It's reclaiming your energy and your purpose, and if you've been feeling off or tired or not feel like yourself, it's time to take your own red pill moment and get the answers, get your hormones tested, start writing a different story for yourself.
Yeah, because once you know, you can't unknow. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I want to give an example that I've seen so recently and many, many times. So I'll go back to testosterone replacement therapy. When you see a lab number, so we had a younger man who came in, and he's in his late 20s, which is not our target audience, but we're seeing more and more men in their late 20s and 30s that just aren't feeling good already in life. We tested his labs and his testosterone came back about 300. Well, we put him on some therapy, which is not testosterone replacement. It's actually enclomiphene, which is another medication for younger men. He's been on it for 6 months. We retested his labs and he came back around 1,200 and just feels so much better. So again, he was considered normal on his labs. Most men will feel better 3 times the level of where they test. And guess what? It's safe. So why are we taking the blue pill and living in oblivion versus taking the red pill and learning the truth?
Yeah, and exactly. So, I think about what will it be? The blue pill keeps you comfortable and the red pill wakes you up to really what is going on inside your body, and we've said, we've lived this lie that normal labs, are normal. We don't believe that anymore. We believe that normal is not optimal. And so most people feel better out of range. And so that's how we do it. So What will you do? Will you take the red pill or blue pill?
I've already taken the red pill. I just want everyone to have their eyes opened and really live your quality of life that you deserve. You deserve to live your best life.
Yeah.
Not just average or below average, or think about yourself and where you want to be. That's where we want to help get you there.
So we want you to take the red pill. We want you to have your eyes opened, and that's why what we do is because we've learned the truth and we can't unsee what we've seen. And so now it's our passion and our mission to get it out there to everyone about hormones, and they're safe, and normal is not optimal. And so that is why we do what we do.
In fact, you're probably more safe, honestly. You have better protection from cancers. You have better protection from heart disease. You have better protection from diabetes and insulin resistance when your hormones are optimized. Keep living where they are and watch your life circle the drain, because it's not optimal.
Yeah. So we appreciate you guys joining us today. And if you have any questions or insights to what you want us to talk about, let us know. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you.